Ay, 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 what did I do? So sorry that I haven't been taking many videos. Rick and the kids have been here working on it. It's coming along nice. Again, I don't want to take too many videos of the kids. But I've got them sanding the car and then we're buffing the car. So a couple things, I had the glass tinted, and the same guy that tinted the glass, we're supposed to install the windshield in the back window. But he came here and goes, oh, you just glue those in, there's no problem, you can do that yourself. But we still have buffing, especially where all the trim is going on, and then the edges here. The kids sand a bit. We start with 1500 grit and then work to 2000, and you can see where, and they're good. The kids had told him to stay away from the edge, and he did a little bit over here. Luckily this gets covered by the felt, but you can see where the low spots are in the clear coat, and so I need to do a bit more sanding just at the top, but this is kind of the finish that we're aiming for. Kind of a dull look into the clear coat. And then we buff it with a wool pad and then a foam pad. Eastwood has some really good paint education videos, and if you really want to get into that, those are the pros. They give you all the tips. The videos are long. It's not a simple process. Videos are like half-hour segments, but if you want to get into buffing the paint, watch those videos, because they do it 100%. I'm happy with how the buffing's turning out. Now we got a couple doors to do at the back here yet, but this fender's finished. You can see the paint, it's already dusty again, but really nice shine on that. Really happy with that. Still working on the interior. I got the shifter in, got the dash in, got the wiring figured out. The brake switch was, I missed it completely. It was hidden underneath the firewall there. Got the brake switch working again. So I have to plug in a couple lights yet. The interior, I just put the seat in there because I really wanted to see the seat in there. Still got to glue the insulation down, glue the carpet down. I have the carpet. Unfortunately, the headliner didn't come in yet, but I have a few things working, like our little air conditioning here. That's working nice. The parking brake handle is all hooked up. That's working well. The hood is lining up nice. What's really nice is the front end of this car. That is the original grill that was re-chromed 20 years ago by the owner. Now, when he donated the car, he didn't donate the grill, and I almost didn't fix this car because that grill is worth about $4 grand, and you can see why. It's absolutely stunning, and it is the centerpiece of the car. When you see this, it's just gorgeous. What I did was I stripped the pieces of the grill down and sent them away to get a vinyl wrap put on it, and then it'll look decent, but it definitely won't look like this. So I asked if I could borrow the grill, and I should have Loctited all the nuts in there because I really don't want to give that grill back. But we'll see, we'll work on that. The white walls turned out really nice. They look kind of small on there, but just 15-inch, 6 by 15 with a 2 5/8 white wall. Thanks to Queensway Tire to help us out, gave us a really good deal on those. So I think we might want to just drop the car a little bit. I think it would look really sick, just dropped 1.5 inches or 2 inches, something like that, but that's in the future. We're gonna try hard in the morning to finish her up. Still gotta put the fuel tank in it, do some stuff underneath, get the lights working, put the rest of the door panels and the windows in, but yeah, really happy with how it's turning out, so here we go. I think in 1948, the Fleetmasters and the cars generally back then didn't have turn signals, they only had brake lights. So we got the brake lights working, and that was a switch that hits the pedal just on the firewall, but I think all of them had to have turn signals later in the 60s or something like that, so these are all an add-on system. So we're just trying to figure out how the brake light feeds the turn signal, and then if you're not turning, both lights get a brake light, but if you turn it one way or another, it cancels out that turn signal light and flashes it through flash. Now this is a 6 volt, so I got to get a 12 volt, but this is the first time I've seen a flasher with 3 prongs in it. So I think one, just the fact that this one has a fuse holder on it, that this flasher unit actually has to be fed power. Pretty neat where this roller actually hits the bottom of the steering wheel and actually cancels out the turn signal. The only thing not working on my light switch is the dimmer, but I do have all the dash lights working, so let's see if I can just, oh, nice to see too. Yeah, I got the dash lights working, but not through the switch. So I tried another switch and it's the same thing. If I push really hard on this, it's just dirty connections. We'll put some cleaner on there, see if we can get that to work properly. I would like it to work on the dimmer. If not, I'll just have to jump it across. So yeah, another neat thing on the car is the tail lights. They actually have a little lens on the inside here. So it actually has a little lens on the inside of the bulb, or on the inside of the holder, and then that gives you your trunk light too. And there's also a trunk light mounted here somewhere there. I'll figure that one out yet. But I ran new wires for the turn signals as they were all burnt up. They were rubbing somewhere. So we'll tuck those in nice. As soon as we get the wiring done, I can lay the insulation down on the bottom, glue that down, glue the carpet down, and then put the door panels on and put the seats in it. So we're getting close. I'm actually really excited to starting to drive this thing. So this is why these jobs take so long. It's got a new felt that goes along the top, and it bends really nice around the corner, and you attach that with rails. It takes a long time. Now this window, I had no good windows, so I had to take the one out of the Fleet line, but the Fleet line is just about 2 inches longer. So I had to take the frame off the bottom off of my Fleetmaster, put it on the Fleet line window, but then it turns out you can't cut them because they're tempered. The guy that tinted the windows, he cut me a new glass, but he didn't cut it square, so you can see where it's tight at the right, and then you can see the tint, and then you can actually see where the window's not even in the frame. So that's frustrating, and they're getting really sticky with safeties now. So I said keep it legal, do a lighter tint on the front doors and then darker at the back. Well, he tinted this one at the lighter one, which that tint should have gone on this glass. This tint should have went on that glass. That glass is cut wrong. Not very happy with him. The difference between the Stylemaster and the Fleetmaster is one's an American car, one's a Canadian car. This frame is different, it doesn't fit in this door. So now I gotta take this glass out of this frame, take the seal back out again, put the seal in this one, and that was my mistake. I should have known better, but the only difference is these little brackets. So I got almost one full day into a stupid door glass, so that's frustrating, but we're gonna carry on. I guess I'll pull his glass back out again, drop it off at Louis there, and I'll probably leave the tint dark if he can cut it again, and then just put darker tint on the back windows and he can pay for that. And then this quarter glass, I'll just swap the frame now. So here we go. Okay, so I got the windows in. Everything's nicely wired up. All the lights are working. The only issue was with the light switch. The dimmer switch broke. So if I jump the wire across to get the dash lights to work, and then my interior light comes on. So I got to figure something out with that. But we are going to start laying the insulation in there. Young guy there, he's just stepping outside, rebuilding the carb. So he guarantees me that it will fire up 10 times better than it ever did. And we're getting close. So nice to get this interior in here, and then away we go, because this is stinking hot. So I want this thing out of my shop. Here we go. So this is the fuel tank out of the molasses tank. It's got a little bit of flash rust on it already. That's not a big deal. The biggest point being that it's nice and clean in the tank there now. So there's no more rust. It's hard to see, but it's nice and clean there now. And we're gonna put a liner on the inside, this 415 liner. The biggest issue is that it's got all these little pinholes. So we're gonna braze those shut first. Now that pour 15 is supposed to seal that up, but I'll still braze it first. And the tank's almost not worth fixing, other than the holes are only at the top because they sprayed the car with tar. And the bottom is actually in really good shape. There's only a couple of them there, but the rest of the tank is on the bottom is really good. So it's just the fuel splashing up that really does it. So we'll braze those shut, and then sending unit, or for the whatever, I just grabbed a new one for a Massey 35 because they're cheap. They're only like 20 bucks. So I figured they're about the same size in the tank, and actually I was pretty well right on. So it fits nice, even the bolt holes all line up, so I don't have to buy an expensive one from Chevy's or the 40s, just grab one from A&I Aftermarket. Here we go. So the tank is wiped off. The insides, nothing's rattling anymore. Got quite a bit of brazing on there, more than I thought. That's usually the way it goes. I think I got most of the holes now. We got to take this metal prep. Works good. It's an acid. It eats the rust. Mix that 1 to 10 with some water. Kool-Aid. Make sure I throw that can out because it's pretty nasty stuff. And then lay it on the bottom. Then just rotate the tank every 20 minutes or so. Let it sit there to eat all the shit off the inside of the tank. And then we can start pouring our pour 15 in there once we plug both holes. So here we go. All right, let's see how this goes. These cans suck because they always, first pour is always difficult. No, oh, not bad, not bad. Now it says to swash it around, and then I'll have to plug the hole. So well, you can see how it sits nicely in the hole there. Plugs that up nice. So I think it'll work. Let's see what happens. So I am actually really impressed by how this turned out. It did spill a little bit out of that, that's fine, but you can see the little runs here and there where I did miss a couple holes, and it seemed to fill the hole. I took a brush and just brushed the whole area where all my brazing was, the inside of the can and the lid and that, because it's too expensive to just let it sit there. It's got a really nice lining on it now. All the way around the inside. There's a couple little speckles in that of rust that I couldn't get out, and all of those are completely encased in a really hard layer. I would highly recommend this. So far, I haven't put fuel in it yet, but it's silver, so you can see where it's running. So it does take about 3 hours before it's hard, so you can rotate it every time. You can see everything run nicely down. Make sure that you got everything covered. And between the two holes, the whole thing is covered nicely. So I'm gonna paint the outside and then put it on the car. It takes 96 hours to dry, so 4 days anyway. Did it yesterday. It's a long weekend, so it should be ready by Tuesday, which is good because I want to fire it up then under its own power and its own safe fuel tank, and then it's going to go for a headliner. So yeah, here we go. So it's been an interesting weekend, and I love my wife. I just want to tell you guys that she is an amazing wife who lets me do a lot of stupid things. So let's start with the Fleetmaster. There's a few pieces of trim to go on, but there's also a few that are damaged pretty good. Like you can see there you go, it's not supposed to have that point on it. And also this piece is mangled pretty good. It's hard to make that look good on the car. So somebody mangled it when they pulled it off. So two other ones on the side here that have some pretty good dings in them, and those are really hard to get out, and they really pop in the sunlight. So we were taking RT Baker for a ride to the car show, and on the way home we thought we'd drive through the country. There was another Stylemaster for sale sitting in a field. The owner wasn't home, but the neighbor was, said the car was sitting there for 20 years. So he gave us his number, got a hold of him, and he'll sell us the Stylemaster, which is great because somebody pulled in the driveway and wanted to buy my parts car, our little DeBoss garage show car. So this is a Fleet line, and I've robbed pretty well every good part off of this that I needed, but he just wants the front clip because he's got a rusted patina look on his, but a brand new painted clip on the front of his. So he says the rust is perfect, I want your front clip, nothing else really. He needs some headlight buckets and some other few odds and ends that I all have triples and quadruples of. So he's taking that for 500 bucks, and I bought the Stylemaster for 500 bucks. So it's a nice even trade. I got a full complete car again with the trim around the windows. I'm missing one piece of trim for the door panel, and the trim in the back here, all of that looks really good, so I'm excited about that. The thing is, he also has a, I don't know the year, but it's a Fleetmaster convertible in the barn. So he's old and he's not going to be around for too much longer. So the car is probably going to sit there. The barn is falling around the car. So we're going to go grab the Stylemaster today. The Fleet line is leaving tomorrow for the exact same price minus my time and fuel. It's not too far away actually. So I'm pretty excited about that. I got to see what he'll do for that convertible, because Haggerty values the Fleetmaster, that car, completely done at about 16 to 20,000. A Fleetmaster convertible, exact same car and convertible, is about 40 to 50 grand. So I really built the wrong car, but we'll tell him about the Truth for Teens. He's an old teacher, so maybe he'll let the car go. On the phone he said he won't sell it, but I convinced my wife to let me buy another one, so maybe I could convince him to sell me one. So here we go. Ay, what did I do? But it's got the trim that I need. This side, which actually has a couple flat spots on it and a couple dings and dents, is in pretty rough shape. I need this piece, which is in really good shape. One little nick right there, I think I can fix that. And then the trim right here is in good shape. So, and then I'm also it's funny that everything's like rusty, and then this actually looks really good. So I need those two, because I'm missing that. And the door panels on the inside, that little strip right in there, I'm missing that. So I think everything else is pretty well junk. Maybe the light switch, my dimmer's broken, so I gotta take a look at that. And this floor is actually in much better shape than what mine was, and I think the rockers are too. Now as for the convertible, he is bound and bent on fixing it, even though this was his parts car for the convertible, and he's had the convertible for 40 years. It has moved 5 times between different spots that he's lived in, and there it sits. The barn is just about ready to fall into it. So all I did was tell him, give him my card and a number on it, tell him if he's interested in selling it, then I'd like to buy it off of him. If not, I'm also interested in restoring it for him, because I have all the pieces. I don't think he's even physically strong enough to get at the car. There's so much shit in the way. He is going to come down and take a look at the Fleetmaster that is finished. I'll probably take him for a ride in it and then see what happens after that. All right, there they are. Piece of junk, but actually I'm kind of thinking that as soon as I let this one go or scrap it like I wanted to, I'm gonna get a call from that guy to work on his convertible. So he might come down this week yet. The rad looks pretty good. I might save that. And if I have time, maybe I'll put some acetone and ATF in there, see if we can break that free. I don't know, the 2-door and the 4-door, the floor is the same. Like it might be longer, but the hump and everything's the same. So I know it's gone in the convertible, and I'd hate to sell it if this one's in decent shape. Like the one that I got, it was all rotten down below here, and it was toast, but this one's actually in pretty decent shape. So it's way too ugly to put on the front lawn. Not like this, which is kind of like a nice rusted patina, and the grill turned out pretty nice. But I sold this one, somebody wanted it, so paid for the other parts car. So I told him that if I get the convertible or whatever, eventually I might have to get that rocker back. Technically it was his when I sold it, even though he didn't pay for it. Yeah, one gone. Another one I think I got to shove outside, out back, maybe in the bush somewhere. So we're on our way to go grab the Fleetmaster. I just got the window seals for it yesterday, but it's been at the place where the headliner's going in. It's been so insanely hot. I was working on the interior on the Silverado, but I still had to shower and change my clothes. I was just sweating so much. So, but it looks like it's gonna rain. Hopefully that breaks the heat a little bit. but there's no windows in the, there's no front windshield and no rear window in the Fleetmaster yet. So it's not far though, so I think we're just gonna tow it home and then park it in the garage. I want to keep going on the Silverados, and then I'll put the windshields in on Monday. Yeah, here we go. Nice. Got a lot of time into this girl. Yeah, 3. Perfect, Abby. I'm glad we went with the thinner trim there.
That was cloth, I'd say you're stuck, but since it's vinyl, you never know. Putting the thicker insulation in the roof is good for sound and stuff, but
yeah, kind of a pain for Abby. Still sitting on a milk crate. It's lucky it's not winter because I got the Fleetmaster on the left and the GTO frame on the right. So my wife's not too thrilled that she has to park outside. Just a couple days. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you love the channel, consider heading over to Patreon. There's a lot of stuff happening there to help support the channel. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.